history, you'd notice that they actually failed a number of times. They failed quite a number of times. I mean, some of them even tell you things like they failed like 99 times and then the 100th time they got it. And we look at those things and think they are myths. Believe me, it's true. It's true. People fail quite a number of times before they achieve or get to the point where they want to achieve. So please, don't be afraid of failing. What you should really be afraid of is be afraid of not trying. Be afraid of not giving it your best every single time you get the opportunity. And I'm hoping that after this class, you see the reason why you should fail quite a number of times. Because I mean, it's part of success. It's part of your success story. Hadiza already introducing me. Hi, my name is Shalom. And like she said, I actually want it to be a very interactive session, not because I feel like you're going to ghost me, but because I like to hear from you. It helps me know that we're making progress within the course of this class. I have about an hour, and I'm hoping that it's going to be one of the most impactful 1 hours of your life. All right, so I'd like to commend Wave. I'd like to commend the NGO for the contributions that they are making to equip people with knowledge. Personally, I believe that is one of the greatest empowerments you can actually give to anybody, empowering them with knowledge. I've been part of quite a number of movements where we go about, quite a number of NGOs where we go about sharing materials, sharing items, foodstuffs, building all of these things. But for me, impacting knowledge is more sustainable because every other thing will finish, but the knowledge that you're given will never finish because as you keep applying yourself to it, you keep getting better. And like one of my quotes, one of the things that I live by is making impact one life at a time. So I believe that one person from this room, after a while of applying the things that they've been learning, not just from this session, but every other session that Wave has put together, after a while, you begin to contribute to another person's life. So it's true that the person did not get the opportunity to be part of this masterclass, but because you were part of the masterclass, they get the opportunity to get better because you were here. So we're going to touch the entire world. We're going to reach all the nations of the earth, but we're only going to do it because every single person sees the role that they play in the overall mandate that we all have been called to fulfill. All right. So it's also such an honor to be here. Thank you so much, Hadiza, for reaching out. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited and I look forward to every other future collaborations we would have. All right, moving on. So today we're going to be talking about the entrepreneurial mindset. Entrepreneurial mindset. I would like to ask that I have your attention for the remaining minutes that I have and not have your attention because I want you to look at my face. I want to have your attention because I want you to take something, not just that you were part of this masterclass, but you take something that you can implement that makes your life better. I don't like to waste people's time. And if at any point I believe that anybody's time is going to be wasted, I'd rather not do this. So please, if you can, if you don't have a writing material, make sure that your mind is very active. I'm going to give you actionable points, things that are very relatable to you. And I'm hoping they are things that you will not just hear, but things that you would apply. So before I start, like I said, it's going to be quite engaging. So I have one question for every single person here. So if I can I please have the slides up? Anyone who's helping me with that. I have one question and I'd like you to help me answer. What would you say is the most valuable thing that you're paid to do? What would you say is the most valuable thing or the highest paid work that anybody does? Do you have a clue? What's the highest paid work? What's the most valuable thing that you think anybody's paid to do? You help me save my time if you reply faster. So let me know what's the highest paid or the most valuable thing. Okay, someone in the comment section said solve problems. That's good. That's good. So you believe that the highest paid or the most valuable thing that people are paid to do is to solve problems. I think so too. Any other person? Thank you, Adeniran. Managing people. I also think it's a lot to manage people. I mean, being a leader for a number of years, working with people can be very tasking. Sometimes I prefer to do it by myself just so I avoid the headaches that comes with managing people. That's very true. Who else? Any other person? Any other person? Any other person? Okay, someone said train people. Yeah, I mean, I saw on Instagram the other day and how that Vicky James, for those that know her, said that she's hosting a master class for 3 days, and it was $3,000. It was $3,000 for 3 days. I mean, sorry, £3,000. It wasn't in dollars, it was pounds. And I said £3,000 for 3 days. What is she going to tell them? What is she going to do for them? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, okay. Like, I didn't understand it, but then I'm like, okay, that's nice. And then I tell myself that, you know what, I'm going to train people and I'm going to put a fee on it. It was just so, I mean, my mind was blown. Convert $3,000, £3,000 to Naira now. I mean, someone should do it and tell us in the comment section so we can know how much she's going to be making on one person. And she actually has an audience. So imagine if 10, 15, 20 people actually register for that class. That's some good money. I mean, somebody said one of his greatest fear is being broke. I mean, you already have one means of not being broke. Just start hosting master classes, like, but there, that's just by the way. But it's actually a lot training people. Somebody just did conversion. 6.4 million naira is how much she's going to make on one person that registers for that masterclass. So just imagine 100 people or 50 people actually register for that class. Can we calculate how much she's going to make in 3 days? Just let's do the math. Let's do the math. I'm getting somewhere with all of this. Do the math. Multiply 6.425 million times, let's say 50 people. Let's not drag it. Let's not blow our minds too much. Let's say 50 people register for the class. How much is she going to make in 3 days? I'm waiting to see the multiplication. My mind is blown already. Of course, it was blown the other day because I thought about it. I mean, I couldn't sleep. I thought about it over and over and over again. 6.4 million in on one person. That's in 3 days. If we multiply by 50 people that register, I mean, the lady is making a fortune in 3 days. This is an entrepreneur. This is somebody that has her business running. This is someone that's living the life. She doesn't have to say yes, ma, or yes, sir to anybody, or wake up at 8 a.m. to resume her job. I'm blown. I mean, see the conversion. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I'll just leave it at that. 3,212,500,000 naira in 3 days. That's how much she's going to make on 50 people. Let's not blow our mind and ask ourselves how many other people will register for the master class. But this is a class for 3 days. Guys, if there's any reason why you're not making money or why you're not being equipped, it's just because you don't know the things that you're about to know today. I think that's all we need to know. Someone said train people. It's actually a lot to train people. And I think people are being paid. I mean, Vicky James is going to be paid over 3 billion in May just because she's about to train people for 3 days. Guys, maybe we should start a business. But then that's just by the way. And then I thought it was necessary to tell you that. But besides training people, and part of the things that are underlying that we don't see is that somebody sat down to think. The highest paid thing that people, the highest and most valuable thing that you can be paid to do is be paid to think. Because in the world that we are in, many people don't think. They're not thinking. Nobody wants to think. People want people to think for them and just enjoy that somebody has taught. The reason why she's about to make over 3 billion is because she sat down and thought. She thought of how she can add value. She thought of the value that she can contribute. She thought of many things. And not many of us like to think. And this is my first and opening remark for you. If you're going to be successful at anything, You must set out time every day to just think. I'm sorry for those who are of the other religion, but I'm a Christian. And Bishop David Oyedepo cites an example every now and then. He says he has a room in his house, and the only thing in that room is one chair, a rocking chair. There's no TV, nothing, no table, no nothing. He doesn't even go there. He just goes there, sits on the chair to think. This is how important thinking is. And there's a difference between thinking and worrying. So I'm not saying go and think of all your village people's problems or all the things that are not working. I'm saying just sitting down to think of strategies, think of a way you can make your life better, think of a way you can make money, think of how you can improve the quality of whatever thing it is that you do. Thinking. Please, if you've not been thinking before today, make it a habit of thinking. So today we're going to be running through a few objectives because we're looking at entrepreneurial mindset. And the first will be understanding the entrepreneur and the entrepreneurial process. The second will be unlocking the mindset of entrepreneurship. The third will be unlocking the keys to business excellence. The fourth will be mastering strategies that drive success in today's business world. The fifth will be gaining practical tools for overcoming challenges and seizing opportunities. The fifth will be to foster a growth mindset, resilience, and adaptability in the face of challenges. This is our objective for the masterclass today. This is what I seek to achieve through everything that we're going to be saying today. So just to run you through a few statistics so you understand a few things. But before I do that, how many people are entrepreneurs in the house? How many people just tell me, oh, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Some people are not entrepreneurs. Some people are intrapreneurs. There's actually a difference. An entrepreneur is someone that works in an established organization. So if you're an employee, which I understand from the briefing I was given, I understand that some people here work as employees. So some people are entrepreneurs, some people are intrapreneurs, some people are both. So if you're both like me, I want to tell me, oh, I'm both. I'm an entrepreneur, that's I'm an employee. If you're an entrepreneur, oh, amazing. Emmanuel is an entrepreneur. Abimbola is an entrepreneur. Amazing. Adeniran is an entrepreneur. I have so many entrepreneurs today. Okay, Abubakar Ali is also an entrepreneur. Amazing, amazing. There's nobody that's both. Am I the only one that's both? So I'm both an entrepreneur. Okay, Israel Kings is both for now. That's amazing. So I'm both. I work as both an entrepreneur because I run a business, and I also work as an entrepreneur because I also work for an established organization. Okay, Adebayo is also both. That's amazing. That's amazing. Awesome. It means you're cashing out on both levels. That's the way forward. That's the way forward. I'm both for now. That's amazing. So, okay, so you can still let me know, entrepreneur, you're just an entrepreneur, you're both. Let me know in comment section. But yeah, so we have people that work both of them, which is good. So today we're actually I'm going to give you a few statistics just so you can understand a little trend, especially for those who are just entrepreneurs. So 20% of new businesses fail within the first 2 years. So you know how somebody can wake up today and say, oh, I'm going to start selling bags. That gym, people who do that. Statistics has it that 20% of businesses fail within the first 2 years that they start. First time small business owners have a success rate of 18%. So if it's your first time running a business, your success rate is 18%. It means the chances that you're going to succeed is 18%. I mean, as against 100, 18% is quite low. And if anybody makes it to that 18%, we need to know what it is that they're doing right. So right now, it's not about who and who have businesses. It's who and who make it to the 18% that actually succeed in the end. Business owners who have failed in the past have slightly a higher startup rate of 20%. So it means if you started a business before, it stopped, or maybe you had to shut it down for one reason or the other and you had to start another one, your chances of succeeding has increased by 2% because you failed for a bit. That's fair. It will amaze you to know that there are 582 million entrepreneurs in the world, and this number is increasing every single day. 582 million is not a small number. It's actually not a small number. For you to have 582 million entrepreneurs and have a success rate of 18% only tells you that it's not really about starting a business. It goes beyond just starting a business. And to finally just let you know, any successful entrepreneur will tell you that starting a business is not a get rich quick scheme. It's not a get rich quick alternative. New businesses usually take 1 to 3 years to turn a profit. 1 to 3 years. It means I can be running a business and not have made any significant profit that I can boast about in 3 years. And mind you, not making profit does not mean the business is not going to succeed. But part of the things that must be captured in any entrepreneur's story is patience and perseverance. If you are not patient, if you're not willing to persevere, believe me, you're not ready for business. Just decide, go and look for a job. You can become a freelancer, just join an organization and make your money. But if turning profits is what you want and you want to get it quickly, it's not going to happen very quickly with being an entrepreneur. Because any successful entrepreneur will tell you that it takes a while for your business to start turning in profits. And it taking a while doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means everything of worth takes time to build. That's part of the things I need you to put at the center of your mind. Everything of worth takes time to build. And if you're not willing to put in the time and the effort that it take to build anything, then there's no need going into it. So today we're looking at the entrepreneurial mindset. And when we talk about mindset, we're talking about a mental attitude, an inclination. It's more like, oh, this is my frame, this is how my mind is framed. So when we say, okay, this person has this kind of mindset, we're talking about the person's mental attitude that determines how the person responds to situations, how the person makes sense of the world. This is what we talk about when we talk about mindset. So just the way you understand that some people have fixed mindsets, some people have some people have a fixed mindset as against having a growth mindset. So you see someone with a fixed mindset say, oh, I'm not so good at this. It's either I'm good or I'm not good at it. But someone with a growth mindset will tell you, I can learn anything I want. So it doesn't matter whether I can or cannot. I will learn it if I have to learn it. This is what a growth mindset would say, as against a fixed mindset. Someone with a fixed mindset will say, if I don't try, then I won't fail. Another person with a growth mindset would say, I only fail when I stop trying. So it means I did not fail because I tried, but because the moment I stopped trying, I have failed. This is what somebody with a growth mindset would say. Another thing, someone with a fixed mindset would say, this job is out of my league. Oh, are you seeing the requirements? I can't do it. Oh, it's not for me. Someone with a growth mindset will say, this job position looks challenging. I'm going to apply for it because it's going to challenge me to become better than I was. This is what a growth mindset will say. So just the way these mindsets are formed, and I don't blame some people for having the kinds of mindset that they have, but this mindset many times are formed from a combination of personal experiences, the kind of environments that you grew up in, your upbringing. All of these things have a role to play in the kind of mindset that you have. So just the way this is true in real life occurrences is also true about an entrepreneurial mindset. So somebody can step into a room today and two people step into a room today. That business over there, I'm going to do it. And you're wondering, is it the same place we're in? And it's not a bad thing because some people were not naturally built to be entrepreneur in their mind. Some people were not built to be entrepreneurial in their mind. Some people are just they go with the tide. Some people are not very innovative. Some people just, if you give them an instruction, I used to be like that for a while. I may not be so good at coming up with what we should do. But the moment you give me an idea, the way I'll run with it, even you'll be wondering, was she the one that got the idea? And it's okay. It's okay. It's actually very normal. And I know there are people like that. So nobody judges you for being that one person who may not be able to come up with ideas, and but you're able to run with ideas that are given. It's true. Many people are like that. And that's why there's a role for entrepreneurs, people who work in an already established organization. They have low risk. They don't have much to worry about because it's not their money that's at stake. Their capital wasn't used to start the business. But you see, when they work in that organization, they excel because they are good at running with things. So don't blame yourself if you're not the innovative one or the one who is able to come up with a lot of ideas. It's okay if you can just run with ideas that people have come up with. But it's true, just the way, same way we have great fixed mindset, we have growth mindset. There's also what we call an entrepreneurial mindset, and that's what we're going to be examining today. But before I take you on the journey, before we start to examine the entrepreneurial mindset, I'd like us to just know who an entrepreneur is. Who do we say is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is an individual. Okay, my slides, I don't know if someone is helping me with that or if I'm supposed to upload them by myself. I would actually prefer if it's displayed for me. Okay, thank you. So please, the next slide. The next slide, please. Yes. So who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is an individual who identifies business opportunities, takes the initiative to create and manage a new business, and assumes the risk associated with that venture. So it means two things. It says it's an individual, which is it pays attention to one person. Then it moves, you have to identify opportunities. There's no business without opportunities because part of the things that characterizes a business is identifying opportunities and offering value. Do you understand? So it says takes initiative to create and manage a new business and assumes the risk associated with that venture. They often bring innovative ideas to the market, seeking to create value and potentially earn profits. Two things. Create value and earn profits. Notice that earning profit does not come before creating value. Making profit is a consequence of a value that you've offered. So if you're not making profit yet, we need to ask, what value are you offering? People are willing to pay whatever amount if they know that you're offering value to them. So just the same way we just calculated how much Vicky James is going to make in 3 days, she's going to make 3 billion in 3 days. The only reason why anybody is going to give her over 6 million for 3 days is because they believe that she has a value to offer. And this is what characterizes every entrepreneur. You're not an entrepreneur if you're not offering value. Value for an entrepreneur comes before making profits because there's no way you can offer value and not make profits. Are we together? Please let me know that we're together and you're following me. So amidst all of this, many people have started many businesses, and statistics has it that 25% of people actually become entrepreneurs because they want to get away from the corporate world. They don't like the 9 to 5 like me. They don't like waking up early in the morning, dressing up, going to the office with heels, coming back by 5, tired. So most of them, 25% of them just say, you know what, I'm going to start a business. That's the only reason they don't want to work in the corporate world. 11% of people become entrepreneurs after being laid off from their job. So you worked your ass for one job, and before you know, they just tell you, oh, sorry, we have to lay off some staffs, and we are sorry, but we have to let you go. Are you kidding? You have to let me go. After how many years that I've sweated in this office, you have to let me go. Really now? And then you just say, you know what? I'm going to start a business. 11% of people, this is why they go into entrepreneurship. 10% of entrepreneurs started their own businesses because they weren't ready to retire. So like our oldies, I don't know if we have any, sorry, not oldies now, our elderly people, they're not ready to just stop. They just want to keep going. So before you know it, they tell you, oh, they're starting a business, they're doing this, they're establishing a company, all of that, because they're not ready to retire. The last percent, 4% of entrepreneurs started their own business because they were inspired by life events. When Hadiza started the session, one guy said his greatest fear is being broke. Hey, I don't have money. I want to live the soft girl life, but there's no money to live it. I want to travel to Dubai, but I don't have the resources to do that. This is the reason why 4% of people go into entrepreneurship because there's a life that they want to afford for themselves and they know that a 9 to 5 cannot afford them. So they just say, you know what, I'm going to own a business and I'm just going to run it. So as we've come to this point, I would like to know which percent you fit into. Do you fit into the 25% of people who become entrepreneurs because they're trying to run away from the corporate world? Or you fit into the 11% who become entrepreneurs because they were sacked from their job? Or you fit into the 10% who started businesses because you were not ready to retire? Or you fit into the 4% who started their own business because life occurrences just hit you hard? Let me know which of the sessions you belong into very quickly in the comment section. 20, you fit into the 20%. Okay, 25%, right? You fit into 25%. So you don't like the corporate world. That's amazing. Abubakar doesn't like the corporate world for anything, and he's not going to it. Emmanuel fits into the 4%. Life has shown him, okay, and he's like, you know what? I'm not doing this again. Adenira fits into the 4%. Life has shown him things. I can feel you, man. I mean, I wanted to go and have a vacation in Dubai the other day, but then the cost of the business class didn't even allow me think of you doing it. Okay, amazing. Odwen says he fits into the 25%. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people fit into the 10%, the 25%, the 4%. Amazing. I'm loving it for you. Whatever reason it is you went into entrepreneurship, I'm happy for you. It's a good reason. For those that are running from 9 to 5, I love you too, because that's where I am. For those that are on the 10% because you don't want to retire, you just want to keep going, you want to establish businesses for your children to have when they come. Amazing, you're doing so well. For those that are in the 4%, I see you and I'm with you on it. All right, so moving on. We've seen why many people venture into businesses. We've seen why many people decide to become entrepreneurs, and very good reason, very valid reason. But now let's look at the concept of entrepreneurship. Moving to the next slide, please. Entrepreneurship, it says, it is the pursuit of starting, managing, and scaling a business. The pursuit of starting, managing, and scaling a business. It involves combining innovation, skill, and vision to develop new products, services, or ideas that meet market demand and create value for a target market. The reason why I put meet market demand and create value for a target audience in red is because there is no entrepreneurship without meeting a market demand and creating value for a target audience. Entrepreneurship is not complete if you're not meeting a market demand or creating value for a target market. Just know that. So already those of you who told me that you're already an entrepreneur, I need you to check and ask yourself, what market demand am I meeting? What market demand am I meeting? Some of you don't sell goods and services. Some of you offer services. Maybe you're a graphic designer. Maybe you're a what other thing? Maybe you're a tech bro, a tech sis, you offer tech services, you do all this. Maybe you're an administrative assistant, you're good with all this admin stuff. So you found a way to create a company where people can just come and employ people who can help them with their administrations and all of these things. Whatever part it is that you play, it's important to ask yourself, what market demand am I meeting? And what value am I creating for my target audience? Moving on to entrepreneurial mindset. I'm trying to be fast so that we can cover as much as we need to cover within the shortest possible time. So we said an entrepreneurial mindset is a way of thinking that drives individuals to identify opportunities, take calculated risk, and pursue creative solutions to solve problems. It's a mindset, a way of thinking, a way of thinking. Now, for instance, I'm going to cite a few examples that I'm going to illustrate a few things for you, and I'm going to allow you picture it so you can know what your mindset is like. And a book recommendation for this would be Rich Dad Poor Dad, where you notice the approach that the rich dad had to his son as against the approach that the poor dad had to his son. Two different occurrences produce two different mindsets. And this is what we look at when we examine entrepreneurial mindset. We said it's a way of thinking that drives individuals to identify opportunities, take calculated risk, and pursue creative solutions to problems. Its most dominant traits are vision, resilience, adaptability, and a desire for continuous learning and growth. I congratulate all of you because those of you who are here, I've seen one. I've seen a desire for continuous learning and growth. So it's good. You have one of the qualities that make for an entrepreneur. Now, I would like to know if you have the other three: vision, resilience, and adaptability. These other three, I'm going to find out at the end of this class. But believe me, your entrepreneurial mindset is not set until you have a vision. It's very key in building anything of worth. There has to be vision. If I don't know where I'm going, anywhere I get to will look like it. So I have to have a picture of where it is I want to get to. I need to know, okay, this is where I'm going. I know who I need to get on the journey as I go on this path that's going to get me to where I need to go. So before I continue, I'm going to give you an example with myself. So I run a business, I customize it, and weird name, I customize it. That's where it came from. I customize it, but the name is I customize it, and it's a printing and a customization business. So I do a lot of printing, customization, and all of that. And a little story as to how I started the business. So I attend the church. Of course, I told you earlier that I'm a Christian. I love God so much. So I'm a Christian, and I attend church, Golgotha Christian Center. And one day, my pastor sent me on a few errands. He said, "Oh, Shalom, I need you to go and do this and this and this and this." And of course, the good girl that I am, I went to carry out the things he asked me to do. And of course, they were printing. So I live in Abuja. I'm based in Abuja City. So I went to the place where they call Printing City in Abuja, UTC, for those of you that stay in Abuja. I went there to do the things that he sent me to do. So I went, I did it. Of course, when I was done, I came back, delivered it. He was like, "Oh, good, thank you," and stuff. The next time he sent me again, he told me to go and get a few things done for church. And then I went again to UTC. And of course, I'm a lady, beautiful one at that. So as I'm entering the gate, there's a storm of people hitting me. I'm like, "What do you want to do? Fine girl, is it wedding card? Is it business?" For those of you that have been to UTC, that's the first thing they hit you with. Now, wedding card. And I'm like, "Yes, if for me and you to marry, ba." I make all those sarcastic comments. And then the next time, so after that second errand that I ran, I went back home. And then I just thought about it. I was like, "Oh, printing." I was like, "Okay, well, how about I do printing for a business?" At the time, I had not yet graduated from school. I was in my 400 level. I was doing my final year projects. That's what I was on at that time. So I was like, "Oh, business." My mom doesn't like anything business. My mom just wants you to focus, do your master's, achieve education, do your PhD, travel outside the country. That's how she is. So when I thought about business, I was like, "Oh, business, printing. I don't think it's for a lady. I don't think I'll be able to cope," and all of those things that came up. And then, please, could someone help me mute the person that's talking? Okay, thank you. I've been able to do it myself. All right, sorry about that. So, to cut the whole long story short, so that day I just prayed and I told God, I said, "God, if you really want me to if you really want me to do this as a business, can you just like maybe give me a name for it? Like just give me a name." And then the next morning I woke up and I said, "Istomize it." It was really funny because I'm like, "What is that, please? What is istomize it?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I was just leaving school. Most of the money I had was pocket money for my parent, for my mom, and all of that. So I just told myself, "Okay, I'm going to do this. If God gave me a name, then it means it's going to run. I'm going to do this." How did I start the business? I just told myself, "Okay, I'm going to just start telling people, oh, I started a business. I print." I didn't have any capital to set up anything or do all those things. I never did that. I just started telling my friends, "Oh, I print too. If you want to print anything, if you want to print shirts, if you want to print something, I do it." And before someone contacted me and said, "Oh, she wants to print shirts. I should print this amount of shirts for her." I'm like, "Okay." So she paid me for the shirts, and I took, of course, giving her the invoice for the cost for the production. I gave it to her, adding my profits. So she paid me the money for the shirts. I took the money, went to UTC, printed the shirts for her, delivered the shirts. I had my profits. I had made money. I didn't have any capital. I didn't have any capital. There was no capital. That was the first gig I had. The next time somebody contacted me, they wanted to print jotters for a wedding, and I'm like, "Okay, printing jotters." And I had not done any business before. Like it was the first time. So it was okay. I had done a couple of nonsense businesses. Like I tried selling airtime, data. At a point, I tried selling clothes. All those things were just not my thing. So the next time someone came to me and said they wanted to print jotters, and I'm like, okay, jotters. I gave the quotation for it. The person paid me. Of course, I took the person's money, went to run the job. The rest of the money was mine to keep. I started making money. And that was it. That was how the business started. I didn't have capital. There was nothing like capital for me. You know how this thing where people say, oh, they want to go and look for capital to start their business. I never did that. I didn't have any capital. I just started doing it. Before you know it, another person comes, I want to print this. Before you know, word of mouth started spreading. And to tell you honestly, 80% of the jobs I've gotten it from somebody saying, oh, I know someone that does it. Oh, Shalom does it. Okay, Shalom will handle it for you. 80% of the jobs I've gotten have been gotten from referral. Oh, my friend does this thing. Oh, this girl does this thing. And that's the jobs I've gotten. I've
Please,
made mo I've made
sorry.
money. Can you hear
Hello.
me?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can hear you. Please, I just want to say something. I just want to correct something. So you said you were selling data and the recharge card when and
Okay.
you said clothes. Sorry, I have to just have to correct this.
Okay, please.
Please.
I caught you. I lost you for
They
a
are not
minute. Can you go
nonsense
again?
business. Yes, they are not nonsense business.
Oh, okay.
People
No,
made
no,
money
no.
out of it, actually.
Oh no, okay. Sorry. I'm so sorry about that. No, no, no. I didn't mean it like nonsense business. I apologize for that. I just meant they were not for me. Yes. I didn't mean my wrong choice of words, not nonsense business. I actually have people who run all of this business around me and they are very thriving businesses. I didn't mean nonsense business. I'm sorry for my use of words. I just meant they were not working for me. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's a better way to put it. Thank you for that, Ada. Okay, so that was it. It wasn't working really. And I just started printing and then I went about it. And somehow it's still what I'm doing. And it has made me quite an amount of money and I'm happy about it, right? For you, I don't know what business it is you're doing. Maybe like Ada, maybe you're doing printing or you're doing clothes or data or anything. It's good. My emphasis is for an entrepreneurial mindset, it's not going to be about what you have or what you do not have. It's going to be about the opportunities you can see and leverage on. So for you, it may not be that, oh, you had a lot of things at your disposal. Some people, when they want to start business, they create quotations of millions and they tell themselves, until I have this millions, I cannot start the business. It's not true. A person with an entrepreneurial mindset, after identifying an opportunity, will also look for a way to make sure that they get this thing that they want. Do we understand? So please bear that in mind. You do not need any
Hi everyone, can anybody hear me? I want to be sure it's not um from us. Can anybody hear me?
Hello, yes,
Okay,
I can hear you, Adisa.
okay, so that means it's from Shalom. So
Yeah.
you please give me like a few minutes. Let me reach out to her and know what the issue is.
Oh, she's
Okay,
back.
I'm back. Sorry. Yes, sorry. My network got disconnected for a bit. Sorry about that. Can you hear me? Okay, amazing. So moving on. So that's what I mean by having an entrepreneurial mindset. Someone with an entrepreneurial mindset would not see any limiting factor. The first thing they see is the fact that there's an opportunity and they can leverage on it. There's vision, there's resilience. Well, even if it's not working, I'm going to change my method, change my approach. I'm going to just make sure that it works. I know there's something I can do that's going to change the narrative. I know there's something I can do that's going to change the output that I'm having. This is how entrepreneurial mindset is targeted. This is how we know that you have an entrepreneurial mindset. So many people, of course, like Ada rightly stated, many people are making money from selling clothes. And if I was very insistent when I started selling clothes that I was going to make this work, if the first approach I tried wasn't working, I would have changed my approach, gotten mentors, gotten people who would have guided me and made sure that the business is working. I don't believe that there's any business that would not work. As much as I believe there are certain things that you may be called to do, I also believe that as long as it's business, especially because even this printing that I do, I don't plan to do it for long. After a while, I'm going to just leave it and focus on what I've been called to do. But I don't have to close it up because it can still be running without me. This is how companies have been established. Kentucky Fried Chicken, the founder is dead, but it's still running. This is what happens in entrepreneurship. So it's all about having the mindset that knows that no matter what, I'm going to make this work. And that's one of the things I want you to tell yourself. If you're an entrepreneur here, like we took the poll at the beginning of the survey, many of you are entrepreneurs here. Decide and make up your mind. I'm going to make this thing work. I'm going to change my methods. I'm going to get advice. I'm going to get mentors. Whatever thing it is I have to do, I'm going to do it just to make sure that this thing is going to work. Moving on, key characteristics of an entrepreneur. Some of them I've listed already. Key characteristics of an entrepreneur. One of them is vision and innovation. Next slide, please. One of them is vision and innovation. Part of the things that characterizes you to be an entrepreneur is that you have vision. You have vision. I know where I'm going with this business. This is where I see my business being in 2 years. This is where I see my business going in 5 years. This is where I see us going. This is how many staffs I see myself employing in the next 2 years. This is how you should be thinking as an entrepreneur. And believe me, I understand the thing that happens with being in certain spaces that makes you feel like you should just settle for less. But believe me, if you have vision, you will keep running with it. So key characteristics of an entrepreneur, innovation and vision. You must have that. Two, problem solving. Like I said earlier, if you're not meeting a need, then we cannot successfully say that you're an entrepreneur. Next is leadership. You're going to have to lead yourself first before you lead other people. The quality or how much you've been able to lead yourself will determine how many people you'll be able to lead even as your company or your business grows. The next will be risk taking. It's very risky to start a business. It's not easy. It takes a lot of courage to start a business, but it involves risk taking. I'm going to take certain risks. Many people have tried to upscale their businesses and had to take loans from the bank. Were they sure that the loan was going to yield? No, but they took the risk because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to take risks. I'm not just saying take any kinds of risk. Take calculated risk. You cannot be taking a risk and you don't have a business plan. It doesn't make sense. You're going to have to take calculated risk. If you say, okay, this is how much I want to get, maybe I want to take a loan from the bank, or I want to take a loan from a family, or however thing for upscaling my business, you have to have a plan. How do you plan to pay back? What's your annual return? What's your profit going to be like? How are you going to share it? What's your profit margin? You're going to have to check all of these things. This is why we say take calculated risk as entrepreneurs. The next will be determination and perseverance. You're going to have to decide that no matter what is going to come your way, you're going to push yourself. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a bed of roses. A lot of things are going to come up, but you're going to have to make up your mind and tell yourself, I've made up my mind that I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it work. I've had days where I just ask myself, am I sure printing is what I want to do? Because it just gets very tiring, it gets very tasking. Sometimes I'm just so tired. I have my job, I have reports due, I have many things, but then I have a job that I need to deliver. And I'm asking myself, do I really want to do this? And there are those days that you have. And if you're an entrepreneur here, you know that those days actually come where you just get tired and you're like, do I really want to do this? But then again, you just have to push beyond the discouragements that come your way, push beyond the things that happen, and just tell yourself, I'm going to persevere and I'm going to make this work. Next slide, please. Entrepreneurship goes through many stages. One of the stages, so the entrepreneurial journey typically progresses through several key stages, including idea generation, planning, execution, growth, and sometimes hyper growth and exit strategies. All of that happens within the course of the stages of entrepreneurship. And these stages help the entrepreneur to navigate the complexities of starting and scaling a business. It's easy for anybody to start a business. Like I said, I just woke up and started printing. It's easy. You might just stand up and say, okay, I want to start. I don't like the way I'm dependent. I want to start doing something. There are a number of things you can do. You can start selling shoes. You can become a retailer, have connections with wholesalers, and just start to retail certain things, build an audience for yourself, and just start. It starts as that. It starts as an idea, but it doesn't start. That's just the first stage. Ideation is just the first stage. That's the point where you just get the idea. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I want to do this. And you just get it's usually the initial stage, and it just involves identifying a problem or the opportunity in the market and developing a potential solution. It's the initial phase. I just have an idea. Oh, I think I can do this. Oh, I just noticed that people in this area, they drink a kind of water. And I don't think it's the best kind of water, but because I noticed that this is the direction that the market is flowing, I'm going to go through that channel, but I'm going to find a way to do it in a different way. The difference that you offer is what's going to bring people to you. So it's not the fact that you're the only person that's going to be selling water in that area. What is going to distinguish you is the difference that you put in your own selling of water. So there's the first stage of entrepreneurship, ideation. That's the part where the idea comes in. The next stage will be planning. Once an idea is conceived, the planning stage involves developing a comprehensive business plan. This is the point where you see people drafting out their business plans, drafting out this and this and this, and say, okay, I have business proposals, I have a business plan, I want to submit my business plan to these partners to see how they can help me. This is what happens in this stage, planning. You do market research, you do surveys, you do financial projections, operational strategies, all of these things. And while I prepared these slides, I told myself that depending on the kinds of people that I'm interacting with today, some people just want to do business on a menial level. But believe me, part of the things I want to challenge you to do today, make up your mind that you're not going to do anything small. Tell yourself, as long as it's me that is doing it, it's not going to be small. Even if I start small, it's not going to remain small. So maybe you started a small business, but tell yourself that this business is not going to remain small. Every morning when you wake up, tell yourself it's not going to remain small. I'm going to have over 1,000 employees. They're going to be paid under me. I'm going to be running such a structural system that is going to be thriving in today's economy. My business or my company is going to contribute to the economy of my nation. These are the things you should tell yourself. So just make up your mind in your planning. This is why I said vision is very important. Make up your mind that you're not going to do anything small. Everything that you're going to do is going to be big and is going to make a statement. And I know that because you're listening to me right now. Not one person listening to me right now is going to do anything small. So make up your mind. If before you joined this masterclass, you thought you were going to do small things, you're not doing small things again. You're going to do big things. Even if you started small, you're going to upscale and you're going to make it even bigger. So come up with that business plan. It's important that you have a business plan because at certain point where you're going to upscale your business, certain people are going to require your business plan from you. I've had quite a big number of people ask me, okay, send me your business plan. Let me see what you're trying to do. And in the business plan, you have financial projections. Okay, this is how much I'm going to make. This is how much. All of that happens when you do your financial projections. And of course, a teaching can happen on how to do all of that, but I don't think that's the class for today. Next will be execution. This stage involves putting the plan into action, launching the business, and building a customer base. Like I told you the other day, most of the clients I've gotten came from referral. Oh, Shalom does it. Oh, this girl can handle it for you. Oh, this. Oh, that. That's how most of the clients come. I'm very bad at publicity, which is a bad thing for your business, but making posts and saying, oh, support my business, all those things, it's not really my thing. But then again, somehow I've been able to create other means. I talk to my customers, I create a relationship with them. Part of the things I have as my mantra for my business is I build connections through customization. So if I ever offer a service to you, I'm going to chat you up. I'm going to ask, oh, how are you doing? I'm going to create a relationship with you beyond just printing for you. So now I can go as far as wishing my clients happy birthday. I have no business. But because I know that I have one weakness and I have another strength I can leverage on. My weakness is that I don't like posting. So you rarely ever see me. They have hit my head and told me to start posting a lot. But then I don't really like doing it. But then on the other hand, I find a way to manage my customers, giving you good customer service, making sure that at the end of whatever service I deliver to you, you're happy, you're excited. So I have a way of, covering for my weakness. Do you understand? My time is almost up, so let me just run through. The next will be growth. As the business gains traction, the growth phase focuses on expanding your operations. Some of you here don't think that you can establish your business in Abuja, Lagos, Jos, you can have branches. Please, I beg you. Like I said, you cannot listen to me and do anything small. It's true that you just started offering services to 10 people, 15 people, but look beyond that. You're going to offer services to nations. You're going to offer your services to kings. And it's important that you put that at the back of your mind. Before I move on, the reason why it's important is because if you only see yourself serving a kind of people, you will never attract another kind of people. So let me give you a very, very wonderful experience of this. So there was a time when I started my business that I used to feel like an amount was too much to price to give somebody. So for instance, now I cannot tell you that your bill is 1 million. I used to feel like it's too big. I'll be like, hey, will the person pay? Hey, oh God, let me just reduce. Let me just tell the person, okay, just pay. Even that 500K, I'll be whispering it because I'm not sure the person will want to pay. And the reason is because my mind had not caught up to that reality. And some of you in this place, like we just calculated how much Vicky James, who is our focus today, is going to make in 3 days. Some of you don't believe that anybody can pay you that amount for anything. And this is where the entrepreneurial mindset starts. You need to believe that you are worth it. You need to believe that you have that much value to offer to the world. Because until you believe it, it's not going to come. It's not going to come because you wished for it. It's not going to come because you desired it. It's one thing to say, oh, I know that my business is going to serve the King of America. Oh, I know that my business is going to go to Europe. It's one thing to say it. But if your mind has not caught up to that reality, it's never going to happen. It's never going to come. So you need to allow your mind get there. And how do you allow your mind get there? You need to build yourself. From time to time, I tell myself every day at least an hour should go into going to see what's happening in the world, learning about what's happening in my field of printing. Learning this is not what I want to do. My main line is communication and all of that. So I find a way to make sure that I'm putting my eyes on both things. But you need to make sure that you're adding value to yourself. Before you can offer value to anybody, guys, you need to offer value to yourself. If you're not valuable, you cannot offer value. So part of the thing, some people living here, what you're going to do for me will not be that you're going to go and upscale your business. What you're going to do is go and build yourself. Some of you don't even have the mindset that will allow you receive millions. And if you don't have the mindset, it's not going to come, irrespective of how many businesses you've set up. People look at it and think like, oh, some of these are Igbo guys who are very entrepreneurial in their mindset by reason of their culture and all of that. You look at an Igbo man and you ask yourself, those of them that probably didn't go to school, you wonder how they're so entrepreneurial. They're able to establish businesses. It's because the Igbo man does not believe there's anything he cannot do. Like on a steady, there's no amount he thinks he cannot make. And because of that mindset, there's almost no limitation for him. And this is the first point of having an entrepreneurial mindset. You need to believe that you can make as much money as you want to make. Some of you will have to go and sit down and write a figure, probably a figure that has never entered your account before, and start looking at it every day and telling yourself it's going to come. And as your mind begins to catch up with that reality, you just notice that everything in your environment just begins to respond. So moving on to the next, we said hyper growth. The point of hyper growth in some cases is when you have established a successful business. Okay, I spoke about the growth phase. That's where you start to expand. Then the hyper growth is the point where you've established your business. Your business is successful. And at this point, you want to now make it a public affair. You want to involve the government into what you do. All of that is the point where we say hyper growth. Not many business make it to hyper growth because that's really not what their vision was at the beginning when they started. So many people stop at growth and expansion and they just keep expanding and expanding. Just few businesses make it to the point where they transit to the stage of hyper growth. Next slide, please. I think I have just a few minutes left, so I'm just going to rush. Please follow me. I hope we're together. Please let me know in the comment section that you're still following. The next thing, key traits of successful entrepreneurs, like I've elaborated over and over. Number one is vision. Vision. You have to have a vision. You have to know where you see yourself. And for me, I come before my business. So it means I will make more investments in building myself before I make more in building my business, because my business will always reflect me. My business will always reflect my ideology. My business will always reflect my mindset. My business will always reflect the decisions that I've made or I have failed to make. All of this is what happens. So part of the key traits you must have as a successful entrepreneur is vision. So some of you here, if you already know that you didn't have vision, I'm sure that's the reason why we've put together this masterclass. Sit down with yourself and come up with it. Where do I see myself? Where do I want to go with this business that I'm doing? All of these things are not things that you should be ashamed about. They're things that you should do in order to get to where you want to get to. The second, and like I wrote under that point, see beyond the present and plan for the future impact. It's true. Some years ago, my basic, like I said, or my main focus on my main line of life is communications. And some years ago, I would not have seen myself in a master class like other ones that I've had, or this one that I'm in. I would never have seen myself, because at that point, I did not see myself as someone who had value to offer. I didn't see myself as someone who had something to say and anybody that was worth listening by anybody. But we're here today. We're in this masterclass and you're listening. And it doesn't stop here, because I know that someday I'm going to be speaking and presidents are going to be seated. Leaders of nations are going to be seated. Kings are going to be seated. And it's not going to happen because Shalom wished for it. It's going to happen because consistently I'm going to keep developing myself. I'm going to keep studying. I'm going to keep paying the price. You don't want to know how many hours it took me to study and put together the presentation for this. But I did it because I knew that you cannot give what you do not have. So I have to look beyond the present. At some point, I had to tell myself, "Oh, I don't even know how many people are going to be here." And just then and then, I was corrected, and I told myself, I'm going to prepare like I'm speaking to 1,000 people. I'm going to prepare like the president of the United States was seated and he was listening to me. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prepare like I'm going to keep doing it until I get to the destination that I know I'm headed. See beyond the present and look at future impact. The next will be creativity. Innovate and solve problems in new ways. Look for ways you can refine your business. I have someone in my space who sells books. She doesn't sell book like every other person, because when this lady sells her own books, she delivers your books to you with a note. She sends you a note. Who does that? She sends you a note, like a love, not really love notes, but a note like, "I'm rooting for you. You're doing so well. Your decision to read this book," sends you sweets, sends you sticky notes, sends you markers. I'm like, on top book of 5K, I'll be 6K that I bought. What is all this? But that is her difference. That's the difference that she's serving. And this is because she's being creative. She's thinking, how can I improve what I'm doing? A quote says it's only a madman that does the same thing over and over and expects a different result. The same way you were doing business when you started in 2020, in 2005, is the same way you're doing it in 2020, 2025. Is it good? It's not good. Think of ways to be creative. Think of ways you can innovate what you do, just so that you make sure that whatever service it is you were offering last year, it's not the same. Even if it's the same business, you found a way to just touch it up, and make it world-class standard. The next will be persistence. Keep going through obstacles and failures. You're going to fail. You're going to have days that you're going to lose money. I mean, one time I created a quotation for a printing, and then I was so happy because I thought I was going to make a lot of money. And then by the time I went to print the stuff, I even had to add my money. I was so sad. Like, I was really sad because I had already planned what I wanted to use the money for. But then it was it. I failed. I didn't project. I didn't make market survey before I gave the quotation, and I just gave it, and I had to bear a loss. But it's not going to make me stop. Persistence. I'm going to keep going no matter what happens. I'm going to keep pushing. And this is what makes you an entrepreneur. This is what makes you successful. Don't stop because you failed. Don't stop because last year you only made 100,000 and your projection was that you were going to make 5 million. Just keep at it. Just keep telling yourself, I'm getting closer every day. I'm becoming a better person. I'm improving the value that I offer. After a while, everybody is going to buy from me. Everybody is going to come to me. It's not going to happen by just wishing. You're going to have to improve yourself. The next will be decisiveness. Make informed decisions quickly. Some of us take our time, like me. I take my time a lot. You just take your time, you just drag your feet. You don't have that as an entrepreneur because opportunities are going to pass you if you do that. Make informed decisions quickly. I had to add that quickly because it's very important. Make informed decisions quickly. The next will be growth mindset. View failure as a learning opportunity. And I put a quote there by Winston Churchill. He says, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. It's the courage to just keep going. Have that growth mindset. Tell yourself, I know where I'm heading. I know that I'm not going to fail. I know that I'm moving forward. I know that I'm offering value. Are we together? The next thing we're going to, that's the next slide, please. Action plan. Action plan. I never leave you without an action plan. What are you going to do after listening to all of this? The first strategy, for those of you who are already in business or who plan to venture into business from this masterclass, please and please do a market research before you start. Read. And I like to say, like I put in the last point, research the top 5 companies excelling at what you do and start following them. That's the first step you're going to make. Find out the first 5 people, top 5 people in the world, not in Nigeria. You can take it a step further. Do Nigeria if you're in Nigeria or whatever country it is you're listening from. The top 5 people in Nigeria that are excelling at what you want to do. The top 5 people in the world that are excelling at this thing you want to do. Write it down. If, like me, you have a place in your house that you can paste it and start following them every day. Read one thing about one of them. This is how you improve your mind. This is what you should do. Make sure that you're not leading yourself. Every single thing you want to do, somebody has done it before. There's nothing you want to do that is new out of space. I know that God gives ideas and all of that, but there's somebody that has some inclination towards what you want to do. Find them. A quote says that in order for you to succeed, find out what the people that are failing are doing it and make up your mind to never do it. All the things that the people that are failing in what you're doing are doing, make up your mind that you will never do it. If there's a way that they sell, make up your mind that you will never sell like that. Do you understand? This is how you excel. So the first strategy I'd like to give you, take a market survey. Understand your target market. Know who your audience is. Know who your audience is and prioritize satisfying their needs. The second, identify pain points that are not adequately addressed in the industry you are venturing into. Believe me, nobody has done it all. That thing that they say they've done it all, they've not done it all. Wait to see the innovations that are coming out. Wait to see the things that are evolving. Nobody has done it all. Look for strategic points that you can situate yourself in order to make sure that you're offering a value that nobody else can offer. And part of the things I wrote down here in my notes while preparing for this presentation is that I told myself that my business will only be as good as I am, and it will never change until I change. Another thing I said is a true business needs to develop and grow, and your business will never be better than you. So look at your life. Your life right now is reflecting the kind of business that you have. Another thing I wrote here is that it means when you make up your mind that you want to offer a kind of service, it means that you're telling yourself that whatever every other person is doing, you're going to look for the difference that you can bring in that just makes them come to you. What's the difference that your business? All of us are printing here. What's your own printing special? Why should I bring my own business to you? Part of the questions you need to ask yourself. The next strategy will be business planning. Like I said earlier, I said define a clear mission and vision that guides decision. This is where you determine the value that you want to bring. Some people can say there's a kind of clothes I want to sell. You might start at being a retail for clothes, but you don't stop there. After a while, you're going to employ your own tailors. You're going to be designing your own clothes, and they're going to be sewing the designs that you have. Do you understand? So just make sure that at every point you have a clear mission and the vision. Next was use business model canvas. The next slide has a template of a business model canvas. Because of my time, I'll not be able to go through that, but use a business model canvas. What the business model canvas helps you to do is that it helps you, it's a strategic tool that you can use to visualize and analyze your business. So you can use that canvas to analyze your business, to make projections and all of that. It's very easy. And especially because we are entering into we're in a digital age, there's so much information online. There's AI tools. There's many things that you can use. So please leverage on that. Another thing was analyze your internal strengths and opportunities. Conduct a SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Have all of this written out so that you can know what you're working towards. The reason why I don't think this knowledge is a waste for you is because I know sitting in here in this room are global minds. And I know you're doing big things. So don't look at it as, this is my small data business. What do I want to do with all these things that she's saying? No, part of the assignments I had there was instilling in you that entrepreneurial mindset. And the entrepreneurial mindset does not look at now. The entrepreneurial mindset looks at the future, looks at what they can do for the future. Do we understand? The next point, the next slide has the business model canvas, but I can't run through it because of my time. So I'll just move on. The next strategy will be building a team, building a strong team. So this part is funny because some of you are like, I'm a one-man team. Which one is build team again now? I don't have employees. But again, I'm looking at you now and I'm not seeing you as now. I'm seeing you as the future. I'm seeing where you're going. So part of the things you're going to have to do is build a team. And for you, a team might not be a team of people that are on your salary, on your payroll. A team for you can just be a group of like-minded people, like I wrote in the last point. No, like I wrote in one of the points there. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Just have people around you that somehow do something in the line of what you do. Just have them surround. Build that team of people around you. Have a few people. If you can't run a job, you can send the job to them. This is what makes you a successful entrepreneur. Make sure that you have a team of people. Even if they're not people on your payroll, make sure you have people who are like-minded. Do we understand? The next strategy will be marketing and branding. I can develop an entire course on branding because this is what I do. Like, this part of the services my business offers. Branding cannot be overemphasized. Some of you here are not even offering, like I said, you're not selling any goods or services. Maybe what you do, you are the brand yourself. For instance, some people here might be public speakers and all of those things. It's actually a brand. A lot of people have created brands around these things. So do not limit anything that you're doing. Don't say, oh, me, I don't sell. It doesn't matter if you sell. There's a value that you bring. That's why I said I did not just buttress on selling goods and services. Also, value is something that you bring to the table. Do we understand? So yes, that's the next strategy, branding. Please pay attention to branding. Pay attention to marketing. Pay attention to talking to people about what you do. Create a strong brand identity that resonates with your audience. Leverage digital tools, social media, and content marketing. Build relationships through authentic networking and partnerships. Deliver an exceptional customer experience for word of mouth growth. Like I told you, my business has enjoyed word of mouth growth. That's what I've leveraged on. But it's only going to happen if you market yourself. Some of you step into a room and you cannot introduce yourself. Be very bold about what you do. At a point, I used to be very shy about it, but now I raise my head and say, oh yes, I'm the creative director of Isomize It Nigeria. I'm a communication expert. I'm not there. I'm not at the place I want to be yet, but I'm going to be bold about it. If I walk into a room, I'll shake your hand and look into your face and introduce myself as that. Be very bold. Don't be in a room and never tell anybody what you do. Don't do that to yourself. Next stop will be overcoming challenges. Things you can do to overcome challenges. Next slide. Set clear goals. Surround yourself with a supportive network. Celebrate small wins. Maintain a positive mindset. Take care of your physical and your mental well-being. Some of you don't even take care of yourself. Buy yourself hair. Do something for you. Just be excited. Seek inspiration and continuous learning like you're doing right now. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Every time you fail, see it as an opportunity to get better. Look at why you failed and examine it and just make sure tell yourself that you're going to get better. The next will be break your tasks into manageable steps. This is what I want to do. Do it into small bits so that you can achieve it. Stay adaptable and embrace change. And number 10, remember your why. Remember why you started, because it's what is going to keep you going. Define your why and never forget it. And one more thing that I'm going to add to you that is not written in this slide is have somebody that you are accountable to. Have somebody that you talk to. Have somebody that you share your wins, your successes, your failures. Just have somebody that you share all those things with. It has a way of helping you in the entrepreneurial world. The final tips for success for me for this masterclass would be: number one, if you have ever made 1,000 from any business, then it has the potential to generate billions if you would just keep investing in it. If you've ever made as little as 1,000 naira from any business, it means that business has potential if you would just keep investing in it. My father once told me, he said, in the initial stages, your business is like your baby. You're the one that takes care of it. But after it grows, it starts to take care of you. So right now, most of you are still in the point where your business is your baby and you have to take care of it. But don't get tired. Like a mother that just gives birth, taking care of that baby might be overwhelming, having to stay awake and all of those things, stay awake to study and all those things. It can be very tasking. But bear in mind that when that business grows, it starts to take care of you. So don't give up just yet, because of course in the future your business will take care of you. The next thing will be by Dr. Joshua Stani, which I'm quoting now. He says, keep investing and developing yourself and your business will grow. Your business will always reflect you. Your business will always reflect you. So the moment that Shalom makes up her mind, and I'm hoping that you put your name, the moment that you make up your mind and you tell yourself, I'm going to start building myself, I'm going to start studying, I'm going to start paying the price, I'm going to start going the extra mile, I'm going to lose my sleep, I'm not going to sleep because there's something I want to achieve. The moment you start to do this, you just notice that you start to attract a kind of people. There were kind of people I used to do business for before. There's a kind of people I do business for now. And that's the kind of people I'm going to do business for as I continue to grow and improve myself. The next will be stay curious and be a lifelong learner. If you see something new, ask questions. Oh, how did you do this? Why did you do it like that? Ask questions. The next will be embrace feedbacks from users, mentors, and even critics. Embrace feedbacks. Embrace feedbacks. Oh, how did I do? How's my presentation? Like at the end of this, my friend is here. I'm going to go and ask him, oh, how did I do? Did I do well? I'm going to ask the organizers, how did I do? How do you think my presentation went? Just so they can critique. It helps me get better. They are criticizing me doesn't make me feel less. It only gives me the opportunity to get better. So at every point, embrace feedbacks. Make sure you ask feedbacks from your customers, your mentors, and all those people. Take consistent small actions every day towards your goals. If you give me one day, I will talk about taking consistent steps, taking small actions every day. My father always says, if you become 1% better every day, at the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better than you started the year. Every single day, make sure you're getting better at least by 1%. Make sure you're adding something new to yourself. Make sure you're becoming better. I started doing this for myself and it has improved me greatly. Make sure that you're taking small actions towards your goals. Last will be surround yourself, like I said, with people that challenge and inspire you. Make sure you're not a local champion. Don't stay in a place where you are the best. It's not the best environment for you. As much as you have the place where you're the best, also have the place where people are better than you, because that's what challenges you to become better. And the quote by Drew Hostin says, don't worry about failure. You only have once to be right. The moment you get it right once, nobody's going to talk about how many times you failed. They're just going to keep shouting about how you got it right. So don't be afraid of failure. For those people who have businesses here who may not be doing so well, because you've listened to me today, I know that your business is taking another level. But beyond that, I want you to be intentional about building yourself and making sure that you're becoming a better version of yourself, not just for the world, but for yourself and for your business also. Thank you so much for having me, and it's such an honor and a privilege. Like I wrote in the comments down there, feel free to write to me. Let's talk about the progress that you're making. My email is written there. You can write to me. Let's talk about the progress you're making. Let's talk about your business. Let's talk about what you need to improve on. I'm rooting for you, and I know you're going to do big things. Thank you so much, Adiza. Over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Shalom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really enjoyed this session. It was really impactful. Especially the part where you said you've been doing a business the same way you've been doing it since 2005 in 2025. I mean, I feel like you were shading me, but thank you. I really appreciate. And I'm going to take everything I've learned from here and use it in like my future endeavors. And I'm sure other people here too also feel the same way. So thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. And before we move to questions, my colleague is going to be sharing the feedback form for this session. So she would share it on the chat box. So if you have any feedback for us, if you have any feedback for Shalom, if you have anything to say to us, just fill it in the feedback form. And also we'll be sending a link to the thank you card. So you don't have any other thing to give Shalom than your thank you right now. So we'll be sharing that link and you can just say thank you in the link so we can send it to Shalom at the end of it and she would have like somewhere to look at and know that she actually impacted people today. So thank you so much, Shalom. Really appreciate you. So moving on to questions. Questions, guys. If you have any questions, please can you signify by raising up your hands and call on you to ask your question very quickly. Questions, questions, questions. Nobody has questions. I'm not seeing
Hello,
any
my
hands
name.
raised.
Hello, my name is
Okay.
Kolade.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I really want to appreciate this. Is an eye opener and it's wonderful. Thank you for the teaching. My question is this: you talked about an entrepreneur being consistent and all of that. Now, for me, I believe that at one stage, my question is this: at what stage will you bring people on board? And these days, the issue that we are having is most people don't buy into an idea of a small business or of an entrepreneur. Like for instance, now I'm not, like you mentioned, I'm not the kind of person that posts a lot. And I tried managing myself to see if I can post online and all of that, but it's not working for me. I if I feel like I'm doing like I don't know, like I'm doing something wrong. So I want to bring in somebody to come do the job for me, but the person is not seeing the vision. I try explaining and all of that. So what do you do in that aspect in bringing people on board to help you grow the business and then become great as what we wanted? Hello?
Okay. All right. All right. I got your question, right? So first and foremost, I'd like to know, what do you do?
I'm a solar engineer and also home automation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you work in collaboration with a company or you work by yourself?
I work by myself, and sometimes I have
Okay.
companies that I work with, but not all the time.
Okay. All right. So the thing about bringing people on board many times is that if you haven't clearly set up a structure that people can run with, it becomes increasingly difficult to bring them on board. So,
Okay,
for instance, you tell yourself you want somebody to come and cater for a need in your business. If there's no structure in your business that caters for them, they would not do it appropriately.
okay,
So before you, the point, and then the question you asked me, you said, at what point do you bring people on board? You start to bring people on board the moment you have created a structure that can accommodate people.
okay,
So, like for one of the weaknesses that I mentioned, posting, there are people who offer services such as social media management,
okay,
which is one of the systems I want to employ. So, right now, I know I'm not good with posting, but there's somebody who I can bring on board that will manage my social media and help me with all the postings that I need to make. But before I bring the person on board, I have to create a structure that caters for this person. Do you understand what I'm saying?
yes, I
So I think the
understand that.
first thing you would need to do is create a structure. I'm going to need you to create a structure
Okay,
so that you can accommodate whoever it is you're bringing on board. Your
okay,
structure will allow them buy into the vision. Your structure is what will let them know. People at large are very selfish. They want to know what's in it for them.
okay,
So your structure, in building your structure, you also let them know what they stand to gain by partnering with the vision of whatever it is you're trying to achieve. I
Okay.
hope I answered your question.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Do we have any other questions? Ask your questions now that Shalom is here. Oh. Any other questions? Wow, so does this mean that everybody from her teachings, you don't have any question? You already understand everything you need to have an entrepreneurial mindset? Questions? People never cease to amaze me. Please ask questions. Ask questions. All right, then. It seems like there's no question. So it seems like Shalom did an extremely great work. I'm so sorry, my background is noisy. But it seems like everybody understands what's supposed to be their next step and how they can like move on to the next level. And I'm very glad. Also, you guys have not filled thank you note. Like I can see your thank yous in the chat box, but please click on the link and fill it there so that we can send it to Shalom and she can look back at it after the session. So please fill the thank you note and the feedback form, please. Okay, I think we've come to the end. Oh, someone has a question in the chat box. They say, how can I draft a great business plan for my business?
Okay. Hello, Tolula. I just read your question. How can I draft a great business plan for my business? We're in the 21st century and there are many templates online. And I would not tell you to go and waste time again and start drafting anything afresh. I'll tell you to go online and download a template. After downloading the template, you can now make research based on the industry that you're in and begin to edit it. There are many downloadable templates online that you can get. And if you want, you can write me your email. I'll download some and send to you, right? But there are many downloadable templates that you can get. Once you download them, you just edit it to suit your business. It already has everything. So it's more like it just makes the work easy for you. That's what I would actually recommend because we're in 21st century. Everything has been made easy. So you can go online, download the templates, and then just edit it to fit exactly what you do.
All right, so Lope, and thank you, Shalom. Hope that answers your question. Okay. Any other questions? This is my last call out for questions. Any other questions, guys? Okay. I'm so glad you did.
I have a question.
Okay, do you want to say something, Bolarinwa?
Yes. Thank you for the excellent presentation, Ms. Sharon. I really appreciate it. So my question is, I just wanted to clear my doubt. Does having an entrepreneurial mindset also involve, for example, maybe in the organization you work for, you help them to identify opportunities they can leverage on so as to maybe improve efficiency, like identify opportunities for them to increase their revenue. Does it also mean if you're that kind of person, are you also in the category of having an entrepreneurial mindset? Thank you. I hope this is clear.
Okay, hello. I think your name is Bolarinwa, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. That's actually a very good question. So when I started the presentation, I told you there's a difference between an entrepreneur and an intrapreneur, right? And the only major difference between an entrepreneur and an entrepreneur is that an entrepreneur works in an existing company, but in that company, you work as an entrepreneur. Do you understand? So the only difference is that you did not have to think of it by yourself. You didn't have to come up with the idea. You didn't have to put your resources in establishing it, right? But then you work there, and part of the things that you do is you develop innovative products. You establish services, just that you're using the company's resources and support. So it's almost like you're being an entrepreneur, but you're doing it under the umbrella of an established company. Do you understand? So that's what I said at the earlier stages. And if you outline the characteristics of an entrepreneur, you see that part of the things listed will still be innovation. You also need to have an entrepreneurial mindset, because I personally believe that whatever attitude you give to another person's work is the same attitude other people are going to give to your own work. If you're an employee in an organization, I personally believe that anywhere you are employed, you should give it your best. Give it like it's yours. That's the attitude I have towards work. And the reason is because I know that someday I'm also going to become an employer of labor. And life really is about giving and taking. Whatever thing it is you gave was a seed and it will come back. So if you're an entrepreneur, you also are charged with the responsibility of innovation, doing all of these things that we captured in the entrepreneurial mindset, because it's true that you're also an entrepreneur, just that you're doing it under the umbrella of an existing company, which is why we call you an intrapreneur. But you also have the same mindset. I personally believe that anyone working under an existing company, working under anybody, should work at it as is like it's their own. I know many people say that, oh, after you've given your life to build somebody's business, the person just doesn't treat you as well. But just believe that life will always find a way to bring every good that you've done back to you. So look at it as, okay, now I'm working under a company, I'm giving my best, I'm giving them ideas on how to make it better. I'm doing all of these things, but it's not even my own. Just believe that after when you grow and you begin to have your own stuff and you employ people, they will also give the same resilience and the same mindset that you gave when you were working for another person. So this is my personal perspective to life and how I deal with it. So I also believe that you're an entrepreneur, just that you're working under an existing company. So that's why we call you an intrapreneur. But it's still the same thing. It's just that
Okay.
the demand is not as high on you. You don't bear the brunt of losses. You don't have to think of how you're going to bring in your money. All of that is the work of the entrepreneur. But you now, you're working under the work that he's doing to improve the quality of what it is that you guys do. Was I able to answer you?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so
Feedback.
much.
All right. Thank you so much, Shalom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate you. Thank you for taking out time for us. I'm really glad that you could come here today. Like, this was such an amazing session. I'm not even going to lie. I learned a lot of things and I'm really thankful. And I know like other people here learned a lot of things. And we're really grateful. So thank you, everybody. We've come to the end of today's session. And please, before you go, please fill out the feedback form and also the thank you card, because like we can all agree that Shalom did an exceptional job. So we should all give our flowers. We should all say thank you. So just click on the link and say thank you. And please do that before you leave the meeting. And yeah, thank you. I want everyone to have a wonderful rest of the day. And Shalom, you too. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Please fill the forms. Please fill the forms. Thank you. All right. Bye.